I'd started out as an actor. I was working, I was very fortunate and was making a good living that way. But I always felt incomplete when projects were shown to me that I had been part of, or maybe I had been helping along the way. And I always felt like, not that I knew better, but I needed to be involved in that. And I had played a lot of music as a kid. I composed, I was a singer-songwriter, I was in bands, so the music side of it started off naturally, and through that I learned how to edit, Pro Tools and that kind of thing. When all is said and done, I'm really a director. At the end of the day, I do love acting, and it was the thing that I started out, here. I've been able to pay my bills doing that, and again, I can't say how lucky I am to have fallen in that. But I realized once I started directing, I woke up every morning with a purpose, and I went to sleep every night satisfied. Whereas I felt that way kind of when I was acting, but there was a lot of days where, again, that uneasiness or incompleteness was there. But when I'm directing, it's just on all the time. It feels great. But when you look at it, I try to always explain, like, all of my projects, they're all my babies. I love them all equally. So there's not like I have one that I push more than the other. It ultimately comes down to, I recognize, and I've had, again, really great business partners who have pushed along with me that this is a business, and it's an art, but financial freedom equals artistic freedom. And the more that we can be responsible to our investors, the more that we can make projects that also then find a return on our investment, the more projects we can make. And there's a lot of stories to tell, and there's a lot of different stories that we want to tell. Some of them I would love to purely act in. Some of them I only can direct. I couldn't even imagine myself in them, even if it's written Asian American male, long hair, John Wynn, parentheses. I still might look at that project and say I can only direct that.
Like Screwed, huh?
Screwed came to us. It's a wonderfully written script. I remember reading it, instantly fell in love with it, and it was a project where never once did I actually want to act in it. I wanted to direct, I wanted to make that movie. I mean, ultimately it's about a story about a young man who he's deeply in love with his fiancée, but he finds out that she doesn't love him, and she doesn't love him because physically he isn't quite turning her clock. And he goes on a quest to woo her back by becoming a better lover. And he doesn't quite know what that means, but it's kind of a throwback to an 80s film where he has like a magical videotape that falls into his hands, and this tape enables him to become basically the greatest lover on the planet. And so he ultimately tries to woo her back, and he has to make a decision: is that true love, or is there something else that's actually more important to him? And you have to just watch the movie once we release it to find out how far he goes with that. But we have a fantastic cast in it. My producing partner, Kurt Anderson, who started out as an actor, crushes it as the lead actor. And then we have Brianna Brown, who is now in Devious Maids on A&E. She's on a pilot there. She was also on General Hospital for years and years. Julie McNiven, who was on Mad Men, she's in it as well. So really great cast. We're excited about this film. So Caveman is a great project. First off, we've got Skylar Astin in it, who just was in Pitch Perfect and Over 21. Chad Michael Murray, obviously from One Tree Hill, and lots of millions of other projects. Great guy. Love Chad Michael Murray. And Camila Bell, who is a beautiful, fantastic, wonderful actress. Just overall, we have Kenny Wormwood, just a young, really hot cast in it. And how Caveman came to us, it's a romantic comedy, and basically we had screened Screwed in a rough cut for some people, and they'd seen it, and we were still putting the final touches on Screwed in post, and they came to us and said, listen, you made this crazy romantic comedy sex movie, it's amazing, can you come help us on our film? And so Kurt Anderson, my business partner, and I sat down, had a long conversation with them, and we said, listen, this is what we do. We know how to make films at this price point, and we know how to do it this way, and we'll be more than happy to come on and help you guys put your project together. It's a classic story. There's a young man who is, again, it's a primal thing. He's trying to figure out what love is. He's never really believed he's in love, and he's a writer, and he wants to write a script about love, and basically his mentor type character tells him, how can you write a script about love if you don't know what love is? And so he's on a thing to try to figure out what love is, and obviously he finds beautiful women along the way that are easy to fall in love with, and I think he has to go through that journey, and that's Skylar Astin's character.